Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? It's great to be back on here and being able to do some live stuff again and hang out with everybody on what is this, Wednesday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Gosh, I can't even remember what day it is. All these days are running together, and the term is over for me, so I have time to do some lives again and all kinds of stuff. So, really happy to be back on here. Get that thing off there. I got too much going on with the banners. Got to get back in the rhythm. Hope everyone's doing well. Wanted to make sure to come on and say hello to everybody and let everyone know some updates, what's going on with the new transition into the summer months, late spring, early summer. There's a few things going on, and my Buy Me a Coffee crowd has gotten some behind the scenes stuff, but I want to give you some updates as well because it's so important to understand the direction we're heading here and everything that's just going on as far as the brand is concerned. But again, I hope everyone's doing well. I got my coffee here. It's in my old Tim Hortons mug. This tumbler is probably 4 or 5 years old now. Pre-pandemic tumbler. Slap my sticker on there so I know which one's mine, but I usually don't see this particular pattern anymore. But my schedule has really opened up now because of the fact that my term is ended for this part of the year. I have the summer free now, and I'm doing some extra work and getting ready to create some fantastic content in my area of the world. I'm going to give you some updates here in a few moments about the Normandy trip that's coming up in June. Today is VE Day, so happy VE Day to everyone who celebrates. We're going to talk about Normandy in a bit, and I'm going to give some updates on the October trip as well. So there's a lot to be discussing today, and I'm really excited to give those updates and to actually have more time to make some good content. And I've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes that I wish to discuss. But I had a great term with my seminar students. I got the finals were done a couple weeks ago. I got them graded. And so my work for this term has ended. And now it's all about reading for possible comps readings. It's about, getting research questions together so I can start to think about my dissertation in a new way. And I really think you're going to appreciate the direction my dissertation is heading. It's changed a bit since I got to the university, and I really had to reconsider some of my work and how that was going to, kind of morph over time and develop. So I'm really, really excited to have something that relates to digital humanities, technology, new media, and how we interact with the past through all of that. So basically, I want you to think about the fact that I'm taking this brand itself and I am expanding it to discuss bigger issues concerning comfortable histories, difficult histories, and how we interact with them with new media. So that's the direction I'm going with my dissertation project, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. Thank you to everyone who has gone over on YouTube. If you're there now, hello, YouTube. Hello to everyone on Facebook. Thank you to everyone who's gone over to my YouTube and slapped that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot because it gets these videos out to a lot more people. I've realized that the Gary Gallagher videos are some of the best that I've put up on there. And that's probably no secret. You go over there and you check out those numbers. That really means a lot to me that we're getting that up in the algorithm and people are starting to see more stuff and we're starting to highlight more good history out there. And of course, Gary's stuff is great. We have more live events coming up this summer on Facebook and on YouTube. So please, make sure you slap that subscribe button over there on the Tattooed Historian on YouTube. It would mean a great deal to me if you did so. Again, as it says down below, it's free to do so. I'm not going to ask you, constantly to subscribe to something and it's a pay for play thing or anything like that. I like accessibility. So go over there and check out the YouTube channel. If you enjoy it, please slap the subscribe button. For everyone over there on YouTube, good morning. Hope you're doing well over there. It's also great to be back on Facebook Live. That was, a huge thing for me, and I didn't realize to the beginning of this year that we could actually be back on there. There was a forced hiatus from that, and it's just so nice to be able to go back to where it all began. The Tattooed Historian began on Facebook, and it's good to be back on there and be able to give you something and give back to all of you who have followed for a couple days, a couple weeks, months, and even years. The whole thing started 9 years ago this September. So, it's good to be back on there and hanging out with everyone and enjoying the ride. So I really appreciate all of you. First, I want to say that the podcast is doing really well. We're doing a bi-weekly podcast now. Every other Tuesday, we have a new episode coming up. So the next episode of the pod is coming up next Tuesday. History from the Old Brick Church. Thank you for the sponsorship. They have a year-long sponsorship of my pod, and I'm really, really excited to have them along because I do enjoy their content and their podcast. It's fantastic. I listen to it often. Honestly, I don't listen to many history podcasts at the moment because I'm so busy with other things. But theirs is one that I've listened to, and I really enjoy the different conversations. Basically, the interdisciplinarity. You're going outside of different disciplines to understand historical concepts, and that's huge. And the context behind those things, that is really huge. And I appreciate all of their efforts to get that history out there to the masses. So thank you to them, and thank you for the sponsorship. It really does mean a great deal, especially going into these summer months, because now that I'm not leading a seminar, my pay is gone for a few months, and so we are now, we're not into the ramen area of the noodles, in the pot and all that stuff, but it's nice to have someone who believes in it and appreciates it, and so we go forward from there. And that also explains why I'm back on Twitch. I'm doing Tuesday, Thursdays on Twitch as of right now. I have, oh my gosh, I have almost 600 people who follow me on there, and we chat, we game, we do all kinds of stuff, and that gives a little bit of extra scratch, if you will, in the bank account when it's a little bit lower over the summer months. So that means a lot. But it's all about creating these different communities and the accessibility to the historical narrative, the past. We discuss issues of cultural history. We discuss histories or things involving historical memory. So that's really, really important for me to make all this accessible as possible. But I know that some people have reached out and said, how do I, help out? How do I do whatever? So I did have some areas where you can do that. But I don't post a lot about that. I guess I'm just too worried about looking like a commercial instead of a historian. So I don't do that a lot. But it's important for all of us just to stick together, grow the community through word of mouth, and enjoy the ride. It's all about the process, not just the goal, right? Jonathan, good morning. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to everyone on YouTube as well. I see we have multiple people watching over there. Good morning to everyone there. Hope you have your coffee, tea, or whatever beverage of your choice. So yeah, it's VE Day, and in a month will be my last day in Normandy, and getting ready to fly over there and enjoy that. On June 3rd, I'll be giving a little tour to colleagues about the American sectors of the battle and the invasion. We're going to go to Saint-Mère-Église. I'm going to take them to Omaha Beach and then the cemetery at Omaha, or just off of Omaha. And, it's going to be an awesome experience. I'm going to get as much content as possible without being behind the camera the entire time. I did a little short about this on YouTube and a reel on Instagram. I'm really proud to see that some of my colleagues who do digital history, who discuss history online or make videos, whatever, sometimes they go to these historical sites and they're constantly behind the camera. And I'm really happy to see a bunch of people who are putting the camera down for a little bit and just enjoying the moments and being in the moment. Um, you've probably noticed that over the last year or so, I've been doing more of that. The content has gone down a little bit, but that's also because of my university duties. But I want to really experience the site, especially if I've been waiting for years to get there. I don't want to be stuck behind a camera the entire time or put in front of a camera the entire time. I want to put all the devices away and just, experience the ambiance, experience the environment of the moment. I think that's really important for us to just get that rhythm going where you're not constantly thinking, oh, I gotta make content about this, I gotta make content about that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then you're basically on a schedule that really takes away from the moment, in my opinion. At least for me, it does. And so I have to just put a couple things in place where I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this on video or in a post, but the rest of the afternoon is mine because I need to ingest this information and enjoy the moment. And I see other colleagues are starting to do that as well. They're starting to pace themselves. I think we came out of the gate so hard during the pandemic when lockdowns were happening. People were doing 4 or 5 live streams a week. I was guilty of that at times, especially through other partnerships. But I'm really starting to see people who are, I don't know, slowing down in a good way and just saying, okay, this is a marathon. This isn't a race. Let's take our time and enjoy the process. So that's really great to see. And I think it's going to impact how others, especially younger historians, perceive doing history, quote unquote. You don't have to go until you drop. You can take your time and enjoy it. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So when we go to Normandy in June, we'll be there over the 80th anniversary. We're flying out, and I think we arrive on the 2nd at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and we are going up towards Caen, and then we're staying in that general vicinity. And then on June 3rd, I'll be leading a tour of the area around Saint-Mary-Église first, I believe. I think we'll go up that direction first and then make our way back towards Omaha. And there will be things that I produce along the way. I've been tasked with bringing along the SLR camera, doing some photography. I also have a nice new camera, the video camera that I can bring along and, provided with the gimbal inside it and everything. It's good to go, fits in my pocket. So that will go along as well. But I also understand that, this is my time to be there and really enjoy the moment. So that's what I'm really excited about, is just enjoying that along the way. Baron, welcome in from YouTube. When you hit the beach, keep your head down and keep moving. Yes, indeed. I'll be talking about the 116th Infantry, 29th Infantry Division at Omaha, and that's going to be a really good thing. I was happy to be tasked with this opportunity because we are not doing this grand tactical kind of look at Normandy or anything like that. We're doing what I love to do, which is going down to the personal level. What did this soldier experience on this spot at this time? And then moving somewhere else and saying, okay, a soldier here experienced this at this time. I don't want it to be like this grand tactical, thing going on. I think you know what I mean. When you go on some of the tours, it's you can't connect with it because you've never led a company of soldiers, or we've never led a division or whatever else, but we understand a personal experience of loss, or we understand a personal experience of fear, and we can connect with that, although it's not the same. It's apples and oranges many times, but you can understand feelings and thoughts on that line. So taking it to the personal is huge, and I'm really excited to be able to do that. So I'm going to talk about 4 different soldiers at one location in Saint-Mère-Église, and then I'm going to talk about one soldier at Omaha and his perspective of going ashore in the third wave at Omaha. So it's going to be really great. I think it's probably going to last probably about 4 hours or so as far as the overall time frame of my tour. And think about it, I'm doing 4 hours, I'm talking about 5 people. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to probably also throw in a little bit about grave registration men at Omaha. Susan, morning. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Yeah, so Normandy next month, going to be good. And keep your eyes open for me to be posting a lot of stuff, selfies and just videos and all kinds of things, especially afterwards. I'm not going to take the laptop overseas. I'm not going to do any kind of video editing overseas. A lot of that's going to happen afterwards. And on June 6th, I don't know where I'm going to be. My colleagues are going to the Juno Beach Center and for a commemorative event. Although I've heard from them that it's like a 3-hour wait, and there's all kinds of traffic, roads are shut down, everything's fenced off, and that just doesn't appeal to me as far as my June 6th experience. So I might just try to find some cafe in Cannes or something like that, and get some espresso and a croissant and just hang out. But that's what it's all about. My experience on June 6th might be a lot different than some of my other colleagues, but that's fine. That's the beauty of what we do. Everyone has a different experience. And I think that would be more fulfilling to me, is just to sit in a nice cafe, maybe even near Utah Beach or something like that, and just, or go back to Saint-Mère-Église and do something. I'm really, really excited just to relax in the moment and take in the scenery and everything. So we'll see how it goes. Good morning, everybody. David, hello. How are you? Personal view is always more eye-opening than a broad view. I agree, David. It's easier to connect with, right? And we always look for that connection with history. It's why a lot of us got involved in history. We had some kind of connection with a moment. And I think if we can light that fire in others, that's the ultimate goal. And doing that is going to be a lot of fun. Lucy, good morning. How are you? June's going to be fantastic. We're only a month away. Next month will be my last day in Normandy. We're flying back on the 9th. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though. It's going to be great. Edward, hello. Good morning. Going to have a lot of fun in France, my friend. Welcome in. Thank you for being over there on YouTube. I appreciate all of you who are on both platforms today. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. So thank you to everyone who has come along for the ride. The other thing I'm thinking about doing, getting off of the tour thing for just a moment, I'm thinking about doing a late evening show like this, like a late evening live. We're doing Coffee with the Tattooed Historian now. I need to do something else. I don't drink, or we would do like Nightcap with the Tattooed Historian. We might do Decaf with the Tattooed Historian or something like that. I'm not sure. But I would love to do an evening one, because some people are working right now and would love to be in the chat. I get it. Want to have that connection, and I'm more than happy to provide that. Unless I call it Nightcap with the Tattoo Historian, and I actually wear like a nightcap and, look like I'm going to bed, which could work. I'm not knocking that. It'll remind me of when I reenacted back in the day and had to keep my head warm. So look for that in the future too, that there's going to be a little test. We'll do a test run. It'll be like a 7-8 o'clock in the evening Eastern time events possibly. And we'll just do like an hour chat here on YouTube and on Facebook. I think that would be really good to make sure we get as many people involved in the conversation as possible. I'm all about hearing you and talking with you and I'm not about just creating content and collecting the checks we get from YouTube, which I don't checks is that's an overstatement. I'm not here getting bank from YouTube, but some creators do that. They don't interact with their following enough, in my opinion. I think we need to really engage with our followers, because without you, where would we be? And I know that I engage with some of you on your content, and I love to be that way. I love to create a community. It's not just about creating content and then moving on. It's about creating a sense of community, right? That's why I started this whole thing. And I think it's really important to do an evening thing. So I'm going to consider that here in the near future, maybe even as early as next week. I know we're getting into Wednesday of this week, but things change as far as my schedule is concerned. So we may do an evening routine as well. Do coffee in the morning, and then a couple days later we'll do an evening live on YouTube and Facebook. Let me know in the comments if that would be appealing to you, something you would enjoy, and we'll go from there. I know more people are on in the evenings, as I said. Some people work first shift. Some people have office jobs, government jobs. They're not able to be on right now, and I totally get that. So we'll consider that for the future. I would love to hear your feedback, though, going forward, especially in chat, about that kind of an idea. And we'll move forward with that if you so desire. The other thing that I want to bring up is the October trip. I'm very excited to say that we have 29 people going on our October trip, and that's the 15-day tour from Hadrian's Wall to Normandy. It's actually Hadrian's Wall to Paris. But I'm really happy that Can Hist and Neil Orford has done, a wonderful job of being honest with me about the whole thing and saying this is what we need to do and this is what we expect from someone who's a tour historian, and this is what we're hoping that the people on our tour get out of it. And I'm really excited about it, genuinely, because this is going to allow me to do something that is different than like the Normandy trip. Although I could put some things into the Normandy trip that's kind of going to happen in October. But this is going to be more like public history focused and preservation and conversations about preservation and what does it mean to have a symbol like this in the countryside or in this city? What does this monument mean to you, and what did it mean to you before you got here? What does it mean to you when you leave? Those ideas of public history are going to be the weight of my work in October on the tour. And Northumbria to Normandy, excuse me, is going to be a great time, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. I got all the permissions that I needed from the university to go. It's going to be a great thing for me to put on my resume, but I'm really more invested in making it a great thing for those who took the time and effort to be a part of it, right? And it's going to be great to go to Hadrian's Wall. I've always wanted to go to Hadrian's Wall, go up towards York, and then over to the coast, go to Whitby, go down the coast. We're going to catch a ferry to the mainland Europe, and then shoot across to Normandy, and then down to Paris. And I think one of the tour options for our last day in Paris is a half-day trip to Versailles, which I definitely want to do. The First World War guy in me is like, let's go. We got to go to Versailles. So we're definitely going to do that if that's a tour option. I also need to get good hiking shoes because, we're going to be doing a lot of walking. So I need to get those together. Again, thank you everyone who has joined in. I really appreciate everybody here. Hope everyone is doing well. What else? What else has been going on? What have you all been reading? That's another thing that I want to ask. We're all reading something right now, I hope. Getting through some things. I just got a few new books that came through the mail within the last 2 weeks, and there's some that are on the way, including Eric Larson's new book about the firing on Fort Sumter. That one is coming from Penguin Random House as we speak. I might get it within the next few days. I'm not sure. I did get this a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. I did get the American Liberty Poll, Popular Politics and a Struggle for Democracy in the Early Republic. This one's from University of Virginia Press, and I need to start reading this one here in the next week or so. Which reminds me that I have a ton of books back here, right off camera, that I've read, and you've seen me interview some of the authors, but I have yet to review in a video. That is going to start this afternoon. I'm going to start to record the book review videos for YouTube. So all of you watching on YouTube, you're going to get some new video content by the end of the week. Book review videos coming up. I don't know what book I'm going to review first, but I have a pile of about 7 that need to be reviewed. I'm thinking 1 per week, probably. 1 review per week would be sufficient. But we'll see. Might do 2 a week and get caught up. But I have a pile of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 books right now that need to be read. And then on top of my comps readings, and then I have a book that's coming to my home in my family's home in the U.S. I'm going to visit them in a week and a half. So I'll pick it up then. And then I have a book that's on the way. I have Eric Larson's book on the way here to my home. So yeah, it's a busy time for books, and there's a lot of great books coming out. And a lot have dropped since the beginning of the year. I should probably have Keith on again. We should get together and talk about what we're reading. I know that a lot of you enjoyed that discussion that Keith and I had about, what we read in 23. We should do what we're reading in 24 so far. And that'd be a really good live. We also need to do in our top 3. I need to get another one of those together, and another Historians Off the Clock. So you can see that I'm behind the scenes. I'm trying to get all this together and get things on, the live version of this brand as much as possible, because it's so very important to give back to all of you who've taken time to ingest the content. It's not just about, putting content up and then forgetting about it and moving on. And it's about creating that community, as I said. So that's what's really important to me. And I appreciate everyone who has gone over there on my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Again, it's free. Please hit the follow button on Facebook as well. There's a lot of stuff happening there. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Twitch at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be playing War Thunder tomorrow. Probably doing some tank things. Baron says top 3s are very fun. I appreciate that, Baron. I like them. And we should do another one. I wanted to do things earlier in the year, but the university life has to come first. That's why I'm investing all this time and energy and moving to a new place. So I had to put it off a little bit, but I totally agree with you. They're a lot of fun, and I enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the chat when the chat just lights up with people who are agreeing or disagreeing or whatever else. It's great to see that sense of community. So look for that here in the near future, definitely. Also, thank you to everyone who's gone over to the Buy Me a Coffee site and become a member of that. That really is a huge thing for me, and it really helps a lot in the long run. Whether you are, a subscriber on Twitch or on Buy Me a Coffee, or if you're helping to share out the YouTube videos, all that helps throughout the summer, and obviously beyond that, but especially in the summer months when times are a little tighter. So I do appreciate it. I do hope that you will continue to share those out. Consider going over to Twitch and subscribing. Consider the Buy Me a Coffee site. Every week, my Buy Me a Coffee members get an audio update of behind the scenes stuff. And that drops every Sunday. And then I'm probably going to have, I know I'm going to have a little live stream get together where we all meet face to face digitally and discuss, public history and discuss the direction things are going and all that, because it's kind of like having other sponsors, right? And You want to say, okay, what do you see that you like? What do you see that you don't like? How can I improve? What can I give you that's different or that you are looking for or came here looking for? So that feedback is huge. And I'm probably going to do that with my Buy Me a Coffee members, the Latte Loyalists. If any of them are watching, good morning. My Latte Loyalists get those updates every week. And then we'll probably do a live stream get together, digital meeting, if you will, on, I don't know, Teams or Zoom or something. I'm zoomed out though. I got Zoom fatigue. I don't know about you all, but I'm pretty much done with that. So we'll figure it out. But it'll be a good way to give back, and I really appreciate everyone who's taken part in that. The Twitch thing has picked up again. Yesterday we were gaming, and we were talking about warships, and we're doing all kinds of stuff over there. And we got raided by my good friend Padres Porch. This is the screen name. Brought 60 people with him on the raid, and it really helped to build up the following a little bit. So it's a good community over there. I treat it like I do here on Facebook or on YouTube. I ban the negative and I keep it positive, and that is huge to me. Padres Porch, who rated, always keeps it positive. There are other creators out there who keep it positive and beneficial for those who are watching, and I think that's obviously the way to go. You don't want someone to come in and troll people and just have ignorance and cruelty going on, come in bad faith. And I appreciate creators who don't allow that in their comments, in their chats. Far too often I see some creators who find that negative little tidbit, they answer it with some kind of snippy comeback, and then they share it with their followers. I'm not about that. No, we don't need any more negative. Okay. And we don't need to share the negative. I'm not about that life. I'm not going to do that to you. Baron has it exactly right. Positive vibes only, good vibes to everybody. Trying to help out and be a part of something, but also understanding that you can get constructive criticism, and that's not negativity. If you come on, you say, hey, I really think you could have, done this live a little differently, or I think, you could covered this differently, or maybe you should have had this person on or whatever. Totally understandable. But when someone comes on and just starts to, rant and rave, and when people are doing that, or they have some other agenda, it's not nice. It's not nice to have in the chat. It's not nice to have in the comments. And I block and ban, people once in a while who come in and do that, because I'm trying to make sure when you come to my events, live stream events, when you come to my page, you come to the feed, you're not going to see that, because like I said, we got enough negativity going on. We don't need any more. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to discuss. I'm not here to argue. And, that's the thing. We need to keep it positive. I'm not going to be known as someone who shares the negative, or who promotes these kind of like sniping events between each other. Not going to happen. I'm going to ban, block. We're going to move on, and that's it. Like I said, the differences of opinion based on history is absolutely warranted. It's just when it's hate filled and it's negative and it's chippy. Come on, that's not going to happen here. So we're not going to do that. David has it right. Leave the torches and pitchforks at home. Absolutely. We don't want that. I have enough wounds, emotionally or physically. We don't need any more of that crap. No more of it. We're not going to burn anybody's house down here. We're not going to have the torches and pitchforks out, like David says. This is going to be a good place to discuss things, and a variety of things. The difficult histories. We've had difficult histories on here that we've discussed, and we've done it as a community, and we've really embraced that, right? Because we know we're in it together. some of these histories are very painful for some people to think about, and that's fine. But, you know, I'm not telling you not to think about it. No one in chat is saying that, you know, you shouldn't think about it. We're not going to run away from painful things, but we're also not going to come out here and just start sniping at each other. That's not going to work either. So, you know, that's the job of a historian, is to sometimes, many times, say the uncomfortable thing about our past. That's our job. And, you know, because that's the truth. It's not all roses and, you know, tulips. Okay. We're not going to tiptoe through the tulips, my friends. We're going to talk about the past in different ways, different histories, excuse me. But, you know, we're not here for propaganda reasons. We're here for history. I'm not in the propaganda business. So Barron says it exactly right. History has uncomfortable moments. They can be addressed respectfully. Exactly. That's what we're here for. If you can't do it respectfully, are you doing history? Or are you doing something else? Are you promoting an agenda through doing that? And I don't mean to put like a tinfoil hat on and get conspiratorial, but you have to follow the messenger too and say, okay, why is this person saying this? Is there something else going on here when it's not done respectfully? When it's done respectfully, it's good history. That is huge. Okay, when you can develop something from primary source material, you can give me that research question, you can develop it from primary source material, and you can do it respectfully and give me the answer respectfully, or give everyone the answer respectfully, because many of you know more about some historical content than I'll ever know. When you can do that respectfully, you're a historian. When you can't do it respectfully, I gotta wonder, you know, what's the agenda? So David agrees with that. Baron, I should make tinfoil hats for everyone going on the trip to France. Oh yeah, that's just what we need. We need people coming. We need Canadians going to France with tinfoil hats on. Yeah. We'll make them tricorns or something. We'll make them, or not tricorns. We'll make them like the hat like Napoleon wore or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I need more stickers though. I need to get stickers out to everyone who comes on the trip, which is a whole other issue I got to get taken care of. But yeah, looking forward to going to France in a month. It's going to be here before I know it, and I need to get on that issue. I need to get the logistics down. And I'm probably not going to take any books. I was thinking about it, like a book or something like that. I'm going to be taking a lot of notes, and I'm just going to take a notebook, because I know we're going to be, every day is a different tour. So mine is like on the 3rd, and then I think the next day we're doing the British component of it. Someone else is leading that. Someone else is leading the Canadian component. So every day I'm going to be like taking notes and thinking about, you know, all these different histories and how we discuss it. Because if you think about it this way, if we have like 4 people who are giving tours, I think that's beautiful. If we're in the same group and each person is doing a separate thing, I get to see 3 other ways of doing a tour, and I get to learn and develop not just the data, you know, learn from the data, but learn how they address it, how they bring it across. This is how I learned to do a lot of this stuff, is I watched people who I respected do these tours and say, what clicks with this group? What doesn't work with this group? How can we bring in other voices into this? And this is also why I firmly believe that, you know, when I do an event of some kind, I like to bring in other voices, and I like to bring in people who don't look like me with their voice, and be able to say, you know, their interpretation of the historical record based on primary sources. That's the beauty. Make this tent huge. You know, being a cultural historian of conflict, you have to bring in all kinds of facets of culture. And sometimes, many times for me, other people know more about a subject matter in cultural issues than I do. Maybe they have a lived experience. We're going to bring them in. And that just helps increase the strength of the presentation, right? I think it's huge, and we need to keep doing that. We need to keep making the tent bigger. If we don't, then who are we to complain, that the tent isn't getting bigger when we're not doing anything to do that? Cam, what is going on? How are you? Not taking books is a rare thing for me for a trip, but in your case, it's a great idea. Is you're writing with a purpose. What you're doing is a great idea of a history tour. Cultural historian of conflict is a great self-title, John. Thank you. My advisor really helped me. My academic advisor really helped me to hone that kind of title because she is also a cultural historian. And I was like, wow, I didn't really see it because I realized I never really fit in with the mantra of military historian. And we can debate what that is until the sun comes down. But I never considered myself that in a way. I always felt like I was on the the periphery of that label or that title, if you will. Cultural historian is more my speed because I love to talk about how conflict influences politics, popular culture, art, memorialization. That's cultural history, and that really, really appeals to me. So it kind of was like that light bulb moment you have where you're like, "That's what it is." Now I get it. So yeah, that I'm sticking with that. So I'm going to be putting that on my business card someday. Cultural historian of conflict. Multiple perspectives are required for a well-rounded understanding of any given topic. Absolutely. This and strangely, you could say that the top 3 events that I've done where we've had a roundtable of what's important to each person as far as the top 3 whatever is that multiple perspectives of the past, right? Because someone is charting what they feel is the most important of something. And then you go into the questioning of why do you think this is the most important? Not saying they're wrong, obviously, but everyone has a reason why. And that's the beauty of these multiple perspectives coming together and saying, well, I think this movie best describes, whatever. I think this documentary is the best one about this subject. I think this, rock guitarist is the best rock guitarist of the 1970s, whatever it may be. There's a reason why. And that goes back to, this understanding that there are multiple perspectives and to listen to them to gain that well-rounded understanding, as Barron said. So we'll keep doing that. We'll keep bringing that back. I think that's going to be a big deal. And I really appreciate all of your input with that. So we're about the 43, 44 minute mark. I hope everyone is doing well. I haven't had much coffee yet. I need to have more coffee. It's that time of year where it's spring and there's a lot of pollen and I have a sore throat because of all this pollen in the air. So now the coffee burns extra when I drink it. So yeah, I got to deal with that. But hey, first world problems. That's the thing. The office has come together pretty well. I actually covered up that big white spot on the wall. When you rent and it's like everything is white, you got to put something up. So I put my Blue Jays flag up back there. Went to my first Blue Jays game a couple weeks ago, and it was fantastic. Went to the outfield district, so you get to walk around and take in all the sights. General admission ticket, best thing for me to do. Because I've sat, and I used to play baseball when I was a kid, so I love the game. But it was just one of those things where it's like, I don't like to just sit there for a few hours, especially next to someone who might be drinking too much. I like to walk around. So, it was a good time. I really, really appreciated it and appreciated the time to be able to do it. And I'm looking forward to getting back. It was a great view, great vantage point. Got to see some of my favorite players. So it was all good. That was a 30-year wait for that. So A Tim Hortons cameo. Yeah, David, we got the Tim Hortons cameo going on. Not a sponsor yet. Not a sponsor. Uh, the flag looks good. Unfortunately, I'm a White Sox fan and we forgot how to play baseball. Hey, let me tell you, uh, in National League stuff, I'm a Pirates fan because I grew up in Pennsylvania and my family was all Pittsburgh. Roberto Clemente and Willie Stargell and all that stuff. Let me tell you, the Pirates are still the best AAA team in baseball, in Major League Baseball. All right. People go there and then they leave. I get it. I understand from a White Sox fan. Totally understand. It's fine. I have to have my American League team and I have to have my National League team. That's the way I operate. So the Pirates are coming to Toronto later this month or next month. I would love to go see them. And then I'm going to be split. I'm going to be like, I don't care who wins, just have fun. What? Tickets are starting at $1. Holy moly, I can't give them away. Wow. I didn't know it was that bad. Wow. I got my general admission ticket for the Blue Jays, $20 Canadian, no tax, like tax included. And it was fantastic. I mean, that's like 15 American. And it was great. It was really great. Definitely going back to the outfield district and hanging out. I don't drink, as you all know, but they had multiple bars out there and areas that you can overlook the field and all kinds of great stuff. Games for kids. You could actually play MLB 2K out there on some large screen TVs. So it's more like a club atmosphere. And I really appreciated that. That was nice because then if I didn't care who was batting at that time, like, oh, I can go, sit down back here and just hang out and have a good time. So it was good. Looking forward to getting back. It's an easy train ride into the city. So it's all good. But thank you everyone on YouTube for checking in. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to everybody on Facebook as well. We're on both right now. I thought about doing a third one, but I just thought, nah, we'll just stick with Facebook and YouTube today and hang out. But yeah, looking forward to being in Normandy in a month. We'll be wrapping up in a month. I'll be heading back to the airport soon. And really, really excited to finally get over there. We have a nice place to stay. It's kind of like a bed and breakfast right outside of Cannes. And then we'll get back, and I got to October, and then I'm going back over, and that one's going to be an epic one. I think I'm just going to have to start walking around again, like going for walks on the trails around here with a backpack on to get in shape for 15 days overseas. But it should be a hell of a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting some fish and chips, real fish and chips in Yorkshire, the Yorkshire area. Especially in York. Whitby, especially has some good fish and chips. So I definitely want to do that. I'm going to get plenty of photos on that trip. I'll update you as time comes along on that. We just got an updated schedule for it about a week ago. So I need to get that updated on my calendar. Baron, getting new shoes and bring them in. Yeah, I'm going to get some actual like ankle high hiking shoes. Because there are going to be moments where we're just walking Hadrian's Wall in the middle of a field, and I want to have some good traction. So I need to get some shoes here. I'll probably get them on my return to the States in a week and a half to see family. I'll probably get them down there and break them in and get ready for October. But everyone on YouTube is going to be seeing a lot more stuff popping up in the near future. I'm going to get those book review videos started. So that's going to happen. I'll obviously put links on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook. But I do ask that if you have the time, please go over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. It is totally free to do so. And there's going to be a lot more videos coming and obviously live events. But the book review videos are happening. The podcast videos are obviously going up on there a lot. There's going to be other videos occurring. I just put a video up from our gaming night. We had our gaming day. We had a tabletop gaming day at the Niagara Military Museum. I just did a 6-minute review of that real quick. And that just went up yesterday, day before. It went up on Monday. And that was a fantastic time. We raised over $350 for the Niagara Military Museum. If you ever get to Niagara Falls, Ontario, please go to the Niagara Military Museum. It is just full of military history. It is in an armory that was built in 1911. So men who went off to the First and Second World Wars and the Korean Wars or Korean War went through there, and thinking about them while we were tabletop gaming some scenarios of the First and Second World War was just a really interesting environments. And some people will say, well, that's kind of weird. It's a different level of commemoration, right? In a way. And we need to ask that question. Is this commemoration? And I think it is. And perhaps that'll be a podcast later. But we did raise over $350 for the museum. They were very happy. They actually asked, when are we going to plan another one? So look for that to happen here maybe later this year. Possibly before I go back to Europe in October. We might have another tabletop gaming day at the Niagara Military Museum. So shout out to them for allowing us to have such a magnificent space. Part of the video that I posted is also the Army room and the Navy room at the museum. Just give you a sneak peek, but that's one of only like 7 rooms that are full of information and artifacts that you need to see when you go there. But yeah, that's over on YouTube. So everyone on YouTube, after we're done here in a couple moments, you can go over there and check out that video on my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. As I said, please, or as I asked, please share out the videos with your friends who you know would be interested in things. My marketing is all through word of mouth. And it's been doing pretty well so far. But I don't pay for marketing other than like stickers. I don't really pay for marketing. You all are the driving force of this brand as far as the marketing is concerned. So if you go on YouTube and you find a video that you know would appeal to some reenactors, or some other history students or whoever it may be, please consider sharing it out, because it does help this brand grow. And it means a lot to me that you do that. Same thing with the podcast. If there's a podcast episode that you're really intrigued by, that you think others would get something out of, please share that as well. Our numbers on iTunes have been really good. Spotify has been decent, but iTunes is where it's at for this brand, apparently. So please keep your eyes on that. New podcast drops on Tuesday next week. And yeah, we're going to push forward. Book reviews, live stream events, gaming on Twitch, that's all back. And we're going to have some fun this summer, believe me. I appreciate everyone who has joined on YouTube and Facebook. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming your way here soon, and look for all the stuff happening on the trip to Normandy in a month. Happy VE Day to everyone who celebrates. Go out there and have your drink of choice in honor of those who helped defeat fascism in Europe. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody. Please be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Be well. And I will chat with all of you very, very soon.